Well, Dave, what have you learnt from tonight's game and some of the youngsters that played for you tonight? What have you learnt about them?
Hard to reflect so soon after the final whistle. It's a huge learning curve for them, and what they take out of tonight in certain aspects will dictate how far they go. Whether they use it as motivation to understand the levels that you need to be at, even to play at the level that we're playing at, and in some instances a lot far below that. So it was always going to be a big ask. For me, what you want to see is go and make an impact. So again, Bruno should never have been booked in the first bit of the second half, but go and put someone on the backside. Again, as much as you have respect for teams and respect for opposition because they're a higher level, they couldn't stop us running, competing, tackling, doing all them bits. That's the minimum you have to do. I think he sort of showed that in the second half, in glimpses, in instances. If they'd all done that, then I don't know, maybe it got a little bit more feisty, and maybe that would have helped us a little bit. Listen, there's always going to be ones reacted different ways. Did some of them look like rabbit in headlights? Yeah, absolutely. Did some of them come out with it with some credit? Did they make mistakes? Yeah, of course they did, but I expected that. Again, you'd hope that the senior ones within there would be able to organise and to guide and to help. And when you take everything away, regardless of what the scoreline is, it's going to be a great experience for them and one that they'll remember, whether that's fondly or not so fondly. But you still need to do the basics. I think we've conceded for 4 set pieces, and you have to be able to do your jobs regardless of what level you're playing at. So that'll be one that they can learn from.
And that's naivety, is it, Dave? I mean, things like the quick throw in, the short corner, the goals you've conceded from those.
It's not so much a quick throw in, it's not tracking a runner. Again, whether you learn from that, because it doesn't matter what age you are. If you don't track a runner, then whether you're 17 or 35, you're going to get punished. So if you don't do that, the likelihood is that your career won't go where you want it to go. If you can't mark defensively in the box from a corner, if again, Jid, 6'2", 6'3", not good enough defensively marking, it's something we've spoken about. He's going to have to be able to do that. You can't have somebody of his size that can't head the ball or can't do their job, because that's an asset that he has that he needs to be able to do. Now, again, that comes with experience around movement and how you deal with that sort of thing and practice. Not been asked to do it before, not done it before in youth team football as much, but an area that you need to work on. And it'll be the same with all the defenders. You have to find ways to deal with what opposition are doing. So yeah, there'll be huge learning if they want to take from it what they need to. But I think we end up with, I don't know, 7 academy players or 8 academy players that have played tonight. So again, were we expecting the outcome? We probably were. You have the hope that isn't going to be the case. But I suppose somewhere, take the complete optimism away from it, the reality of it is that they've played a very strong championship team, and we've played in large parts at a youth team, so that the gap was always going to be enormous.
Talk to me a little bit about Nathaniel Mapengu, because I thought of all the young lads who impressed tonight, I thought he really shone tonight. And I know he's let 6 goals in, he's part of the defence that's let 6 in, but I just thought when he's got 3 internationals running at him at various stages of the game, and he's got his goal at the Cheadle end as well, I thought he stood up bravely tonight.
Yeah, listen, there's loads to come from him, and again, he is a first-year scholar, so very, very naive, just out of school, if you like, and dealing with experienced players. Again, we played in a small part in the game at Carlisle in the friendly. Switched off for the second goal. He's gonna listen. You have to learn. If you're gonna be in positions where, unless you're a goalkeeper, you are that last line of that defence. So, looking and dealing with players' movement at the level he's just played at will undoubtedly improve him. What you have to do is not be lazy or sloppy and not think that because that doesn't happen every week in the games that you play that you don't need to improve and don't need to get better. But for all of them, especially the defenders, and now across the board really, they're still working on the basics of what men's football looks like. So they'll still be working around the pre-season stuff. They'll still be looking at patterns that they need to do. But they need to, again, from a defender's perspective, around how you play out, how you defend 1v1, your aerial stuff, dealing with runs in behind. Communication is massive. Again, it's almost like a long lost art.
You talk a lot about this as well.
Listen, our senior lads are as bad. So I'm not like pointing the finger anywhere where it shouldn't be pointing at. And I've said that. Again, if you can, as a young player, if you can almost make yourself unique in terms, especially if you're playing at the back, that way, if I'm a centre back, then in my eyes, I've got 9 players in front of me that I can manipulate to make my job as easy as possible by talking to them and getting the positions that they need to be.
Onyango, I think, tried that a little bit, didn't he? Tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. But again, it is young. But I think regardless of who you are and where you are, that's something. If I'm a centre back or I'm someone plays it on the back line, I can see players in front of me. I'm going to have to utilise them and help them as best as possible. It's something that, like I say, doesn't happen enough, but if like the young ones can take something from that and it adds to their game, then ultimately tonight becomes a useful exercise for us, despite what the result was.
You didn't need any more injuries to your senior players, but you've got one. Sam Hughes, is he okay?
Listen, we'll see. We're hoping it's more of a kick than anything else. So we'll see how he is tomorrow. You concede
one when he's off the pitch, which is infuriating.
Yeah, listen, the fact that we concede is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You can analyse and we'll analyse goals because you're disappointed with the goals. If we'd have been, I suppose, ripped apart in terms of brilliant play, maybe, and I expected that to happen at times. It didn't happen as often as I think, to be honest, or I would have thought before the game. And we've conceded some really poor goals from set pieces. I suppose that's the frustrating bit, but there's huge learning in it.
Fans were great tonight, stuck with them, encouraged the youngsters. They'll be even better, I think, on Saturday. 4,000 of them going to Blackpool. Are you looking forward to that as an occasion now? Yeah,
listen, as much as I said, I would love to have come tonight and played a stronger team and had a right go. But was probably at the start of the night one of them nights that we just wanted out the way. And we need to, like I say, look after the ones we've got. Go to Blackpool on the back of a win on Saturday and look to back that up. So no, it'll be great. It'll be a tough game. Brilliant. Our fans have travelled in the numbers, and fingers crossed we see a performance that can get us another 3 points and consolidate the start of the season we've had.
Dave, thanks for your time. Thank you.
Welcome. Cheers, John. Thank you.